All right, more solving equation with square roots. All right, now you notice about this, in the previous problems we have done something where it's just x squared the whole time. Now if you look here, we got a group that's being squared. All right, so there's some more steps involved. Well, I don't know if there's more steps involved, but the answers are going to be looking a little bit different. Same thing, you still have to isolate the squared term. So that means this right here, I still have to get by itself. So to do that, I have to divide both sides by 3. Gives me 7. So if you notice here, this is still isolated. Now it's isolated. Now, in other words, everything over here is still being squared. So I'm ready now to get rid of the square. So in order to do that, you got to take the square root of both sides. And when you do that, I'm left now with x minus 2. I can drop the parentheses because the square's gone. Just like a prison guard. If he's gone, you're going to escape, right? I unlocked the jail for you. So now I have plus and minus square root of 7 over here. So I took a square root, so I got introduced to plus and minus. Now I got to solve for x. Well, to solve for x, I got to add 2 to both sides. Now I cannot add 2 to this because they're not like terms, so you just write it as 2 plus and minus the square root of 7. So in other words, this right here goes in before the plus and minus. So there's my solutions. Now there's 2 answers there because I got plus and minus. So again, you can leave it like this, but you have to understand it also means this. There's one solution and there's another solution. Right? It is different, something you're not used to seeing, because this should be your first time seeing this. Right? So hopefully, as we do more examples, you'll get a better understanding of this. All right, next example. Well, if you notice here, this right here group is being squared. So that means I got to get what's in green here by itself. Well, in order to do that, I have to multiply both sides by 1/5. Right? Multiply by the reciprocal when you're dealing with fractions. All right. So when I do that, I get x minus 4 quantity squared equals 6 times 5 is 30. All right. If you notice, the green part, what's being squared is by itself. So that means I can go ahead and take the square root of both sides. So that's done. I get x minus 4, put the plus and minus, square root of 30. Now before I do anything else, I want to simplify the radical. All right. So can our perfect squares are 4, 9, 16, 25. All right. So can any of these 4 go into 30? No. So this is simplified. All right. So we can just keep it like this. So I didn't have to rewrite this. So now I can go ahead and add 4. Now where did I put the 4 at? That is, hopefully you said, in the before the plus and minus. And there's your solution. Remember, it also is the same thing as this. If you pull it apart, there's your 2 solutions, right? All right, another example. All right, so hopefully you recognize this right here. So I got to get by itself. So I got to divide both sides by 5. So I get x minus 1 quantity squared equals 10. Take the square root of both sides. Plus and minus square root of 10. This cannot be simplified, so now I can go ahead and add 1 to both sides. And there's my solution.